currently on the planet, there is no one with more audacity and gall and confidence than the men right now. I'm telling you, they need to package it up and sell that. That would save the economy, because two instances this week that are mind-blowing for me. One, because they just happened like back to back, but I'm like, y'all are actually insane. One, this man, I'm walking to a Nordstrom, you gotta cross the street from the parking lot, whatever, go in, there's a bunch of different stores over there, yada yada. He apparently sees me walk across the street and then hurry up, parks his car, and goes looking for me. I'm already in the store minding my business, trying on a shoe. He comes in panting, out of breath, da da da. He's like, oh my god, I found you. I'm like, wait, what the I'm already barefoot trying on my shoe, and he's like, I found you. And I'm like, you found who? Who? I don't know you. And he's like, I went to the other store, and I went to this other store looking for you, and I finally found you. Who are you? And he's like, you were just so pretty, I saw you walking, so I just went looking for you. I had to find you. What? And he's like, yeah, can I take you out? Can I get your number? Is that not insane? I would literally think, no, you scaring the hoes. Like, no, like, that's scary. Why would somebody want to, like, what?
Yo, it's so funny because you got a lot of these women, right? These females out here complaining that no guys approach them, right? They crying, men are weak, men are tired, timid, they scared. Where are the men, the real men that are approaching women, right? And then you got this guy who's actually making that approach, right? Doing the hard work, making sure he's doing something that a lot of guys are afraid to do. And you see the way she reacts, right? But we all know that if it was a guy that she was really attracted to, this wouldn't be an issue, right? It wouldn't be a problem. She wouldn't be talking like this. Okay, but like it comes down to this, right? If you're someone that's approached women, then you already know it's like it's a numbers game, right? There's some women that are cool with being approached, and then there's some women that don't, right? And if you're a guy that's approached, there's no, like, some guys have better success than others, but we all know that it's a numbers game, and when you're cold approaching, there's always a risk of getting rejected, right? If you're not getting rejected, that means you're not approaching enough women, and for a lot of guys, obviously they've come to the conclusion that they're just gonna not deal with this, right? They don't want to deal with this type of work, and they're just opting out. Okay, they're just gonna opt out of women. They're not gonna date women, and look at that. I mean, I don't agree with that, but that's their choice, right? There's other guys obviously that that they're cold approach. They know it's a numbers game. They'll approach a bunch of women and then hopefully get lucky with one, all right? And then there's the other approach, right? That you're a guy that's going to work on yourself, right? You're gonna make sure you hit the gym, right? Get in the gym, get your money up, get your status up, right? And because of this hard work that you put in, getting women is a byproduct of that work, right? It's easier, it's easier to attract bees with honey, right? And for a lot of guys, that's what they're gonna do, right? It takes a lot of work, but it's worth it once you get to that point. Okay, and these are the options. You can either opt out of women, you can either approach a whole bunch of women, hope lucky to get one, or you can work on yourself, build yourself up, and then a byproduct that is you're gonna attract the type of women you want, and you get to choose what type of woman you want in your life. Okay, because we see how a lot of these women act, right? It's like you could approach a woman that you're attracted to, and a lot of these women say, oh, where are these men? Why aren't they approaching? And then you do that, and then you get certain reactions. And it's funny too, because a lot of these women also, like in their 30s and 40s, is when that value, that beauty and that youth fades, right? And then no guys are approaching them. You'll see a lot of these type of women start making start crying about that. Like, why aren't guys approaching? Because they're just not that into you, all right? So if she gets to that point where, if she's single in her 30s and 40s, she's probably gonna be in that same boat, all right? We all know it. It's just only a matter of time, right? So let's continue.
And I'm just like, oh, so I'm like, I always have to give my number because men are insane. Like, they will call you right there to make sure you gave them the right number, like all these type of things. And I'm just not trying to die off of a number. Okay, I'll give you my number and block you as soon as I'm in a safe area. So that's just insane. So let me know if y'all thought that was insane, or if that was just, I don't know, I guess chivalrous, or like, I don't know. Just definitely not if he wanted to, he would, because I just feel like that was crazy. Situation number 2. This man, I'm eating my quesadilla at the taco truck, which I'm always at. And so then, minding my own business, windows up, everything. He hops out of some minivan, which he was like, it was his driver or something. He's iced out, got whatever, but looks like feature wise and whatnot that he snuck on the earth. Scary looking, right? And so he's like, knock, knock, knock. I'm terrified. Don't be knocking on my windows. Like, I don't do that. I don't roll down my window for like nobody. So I like crack it just a little bit because once again, terrified. I don't know what you could just like shoot me. I don't know. So roll down the window just a little bit, right? He literally then, he's like, dang, you can't roll the window down just a little bit more. No, I don't know you. No, like, do y'all not have any social awareness? No. So I'm just like, what's up? What do you need? What do you need? And he's like, oh, I just want to talk to you. Just want to talk to you. Okay. And he's like, yeah, you just, mad pretty, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, can I take you out? I'm like, no. And so then he's just like, well, I do want to let you know that like right now, they looking for me. I may be going to jail. My lawyer said I probably will do.
All right, that's enough. Like she just lying, bro. Like so some guy came up to you, knocked on your window, right? Which is plausible. Okay, guys do that. But then a guy talks, he asks you out, you say, whatever, you don't know him. And then he talks about these people are looking for him, that he might go to jail. Like, who does that? Like, guys do that? Like, there's no way. Some guy just approached and just told you his whole life story just like that, right? So I'm gonna just cut off, because I think she's making up that story. But just basically, right? Like, we all understand, right? When it comes to approaching women, I wish a lot of women would understand that, approaching a woman is not the easiest thing to do. Right? It's very difficult. You got to say the right thing, right? You say the wrong thing, then obviously the woman's probably gonna lose attraction for you or whatnot, unless she's super into you. But there's so many things that a man has to say. He has to make sure he says the right thing, and that takes a lot of balls to be able to do that, right? There's not a lot of guys that are willing to do that. Some guys have the utmost confidence to just walk up to any girl and just say whatever and do well, and sometimes they do well, sometimes they don't. They understand it's a numbers game. But for a guy to just walk up to a girl that he doesn't know and try to strike up a conversation that obviously intrigues the woman, and then eventually get to a point where he asks the girl number and then eventually asks her out is very difficult. And obviously for a lot of these women, that they never really understand because they never had to do it themselves. But when that's when you see a lot of these women that do ask a guy out and they get rejected, you see them fold, right? They be just folding, they be breaking down. Their whole confidence is shot, right? Their whole world is upside down because they got rejected by one man. Right? When you got guys out there being rejected by a bunch of girls and still have the strength to just keep on going, because we understand that that's just the way it is, right? You're gonna get rejected if you find women, if you're interested in women and you have the balls to ask them out, you're going to get rejected by a fair number of them, right? It's just the way the game works, right? But we now know, like, especially in this world where you got social media, that is much more difficult now. Right, it's much more difficult for the average guy to ask a girl out and get their number and get her to say yes. Okay, because we know a lot of these women, they're all attracted to a certain percentage of men, right? So that's why it's incumbent for a lot of men to then they got to build themselves up, right? You got to build yourself up through working out, getting your money up, getting your status up, because this is what a lot of these women are attracted to. Right? And because of this work, there's a lot of guys that just said, no, I'm not going to go through that work, right? They're not going to go through that trouble. They're not going to put in the work to build themselves up like that. They just say, you know what? I'm just opting out. I'm not dating. I'm not dealing with women. And, that's their choice, right? There are guys that are just going to make that choice and just not want to deal with it, right? And then there's other guys that, they'll say, you know what? I like to compete. And what do I got to do in order to compete, right? And that's just the way it is. Like, this is the world that we're living in, right? And you either decide to compete or you don't. It's your choice, okay? You even got a lot of women talking about they're not dealing with men, but that's their choice as well. So, but look, if you're someone, these are the alternatives. Like, what are you gonna do, right? You either can opt out, or you can actually build yourself up to be able to attract the type of women that you want in your life, right? Because look at, man, it's only men and women on this earth, right? Somebody's got to deal with somebody, right? So those are my thoughts. Interested to hear your thoughts. Make sure you leave a comment down below with the like button, share. And if you haven't done so already, make sure to subscribe. All right, so guys, take care. Have a good one. Later.